Perfect.
All right, so we're going to call the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. and we'll all rise and pledge allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. Going to be a little bit of a boring night once we get through our normal agenda. I like working with numbers, but a lot of people, don't think it's the best agenda for them. But it's an annual thing, so we're going to knock it out tonight. Okay, Dennis, have you had time to review the minutes?
Yes, I have, and I'll motion to accept as presented.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, I just signed these for you, love, right here. I'll give you this when I leave. Okay. Hello, Steve. Neighborhood watch guy, how we doing?
Very well. Things
Yeah.
have been very quiet. Haven't really heard of a whole lot. I mean, no burglaries. That's
Yeah.
always a good sign. And I know, I think we had one a couple of months ago. Has there been any follow up on that at all, or we could talk about it all?
No, I don't think so. And there were some thefts from cars, did you guys get?
Yeah, I did hear some about that, but is that the same group you heard on the news about, or?
Nope, no.
Different group?
Have you heard from Jimmy Carroll at all? Any contact?
No, they sent me an email because we had a former member of the Neighborhood Watch that somehow got dropped from the rolls and wanted to join. And they sent me an email and we got the person back involved and,
Good.
and
Terrific.
ready to go.
Okay. Any questions for Steve? All right, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Chief, that brings us to you.
Like Steve just brought up the fact that there were no burglaries in October,
Mhm.
which is good. Although there were over 20 calls for suspicious motor vehicles and several suspicious activity calls. I think that goes hand in hand. People are alert, they're calling when they see suspicious motor vehicles, we check it out, and no burglaries, and I'm glad that this continues to work.
Yeah.
So we're recruiting more people to the neighborhood watch group, it'd be nothing but a plus in our favor.
Yeah. How are we alerting the new people that are moving into all these new homes that are being built? Is there any way to
That
reach
is a
them?
really good question because, whatever we can do to get people to go. I was thinking about that, driving home from work a couple of times because we got a lot of new
Yeah.
neighborhoods,
A lot of new people coming in.
And, what can we do to try to get those people involved?
Maybe the town crier, put something in the town crier saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should, take a nice half a page or something. And maybe we can get maybe Melissa to help us out with that perhaps. And come up with a nice half a page or something and welcome to Auburn, you people. Because there's a lot of houses going up, so. Unless they have no way of knowing we have a neighborhood watch probably themselves, most of them.
That's true,
All
yeah.
right, well, that's something we'll put on the list there, see if we can do that.
Well, one thing the chief had brought up is the neighborhood, getting the calls and such, is I've gotten some comments from some of the members of the neighborhood watch about how pleased they were about the response times and some of the calls they get.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
we know it's a big area and they're covering a lot, but they're just totally amazed how quick they get there. So,
well, there's 2 cruises now. A couple of years ago, there was 1. He was at the other end of town on a call. A suspicious vehicle would have to wait.
You're giving it away now.
No, but it's great now with
Yeah.
two vehicles.
No,
It
but
does
that's-
give you that
that's a good
flexibility.
compliment.
And, so. Yeah, anything else, Chief?
We had our regular trick or treat on the 29th. It
Sunday.
was a little rainy, but nobody was injured, everybody was fine. And then on Halloween Eve, you had trunk or treat, which was pretty successful. Ray and his wife worked it, Will worked it, Melissa, they all,
Yeah.
and Ray's daughter. And I think it's gonna be a lot bigger next year, but I got nothing but positive feedback from people on the trunk or treat. And for people that want a traditional Halloween, we could run that on Halloween night because they're not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, on Halloween, we made an arrest, a DWI arrest, and the driver was almost 4 times over the legal limit. He was a .30.
Whoa,
So you're thinking, you want kids out there with those street lights
yeah.
out at night after dark with
Mhm.
that type of potential hazard? I know.
Well, I came by the trunk or treat and visited with Lil and Ray, and I thought it was great, and yeah, it was only with 20 vehicles, so next year you got plenty of options there to make that even more of a community event. So I thought the cruiser was well done up with the little puppy in there and the growling dog. I thought it was a very good job that you guys did on you know, kind of quick, short notice, you know?
And
All right.
last night there was an OD at Miles, Cashman and Heward saved somebody's life. They gave him 3 doses of Narcan.
Wow,
He wasn't
3
breathing,
doses.
and they managed to bring him around, and he did survive. Well, I don't think that he would have made it if these first responders didn't have the Narcan, because he was pretty well gone when they got.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing you have it in multiple doses now, not just one canister.
And it's not uncommon for somebody to OD at Miles or Dunkin' Donuts because they're storing their dope in Manchester and then doing it before they get, this car had Maine plates.
Main place.
So they pull over to the nearest parking lot for them on the way back, which happens to be Dunkin' Donuts in Miles, shoot up, OD, and then they.
So somebody saw the person pass out and would have called,
He
something like
was
that.
with somebody else who called in and said.
Oh, yeah,
that, He was kind of a deep tucker.
wow, he's lucky he didn't die.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we had like 769 calls to service. You had an early power outage with that storm. A lot of people in town lost power, and I hope that's not previews of coming attractions because people they get kind of frustrated. They call us up and wanting to know when their power is going to be restored, and those are questions that we can't answer.
yeah, well, I can't believe it, I didn't lose power at my house, and usually you and I are on the same line. And usually we lose power, and it's right, you know, we're the last ones to go back on, but they've done an aggressive job on tree trimming and stuff, so
I don't know.
I have to
Usually
tell you,
if
I thought it
somebody
was pretty
passes
good.
gas in my neighborhood, I'm without lights, but we didn't lose.
All right, anything else? Anything for the chief?
No, we're all set.
All right, thank you, Ted. All right, Ray?
We did have some car thefts being broken into last month, more than normal.
Tower Hill?
We had some down at the boat launch, the one right in the center of town.
Really?
Yeah, and down an arrest has been made. The person used a credit. It was actually Deer Neck Bridge, right? Deer Neck Bridge. And the person used a credit card in Epping, and they were arrested there in Epping, and there's charges pending against that person. That worked out pretty well.
Well,
There were 4 cars broken into in the Coleman Road Bunker Hill area, all in one night. So somebody must have been driving around, and some neighbor did call in, calling a suspicious person, and we were able to chase them off. They didn't catch the guys, but
Yeah.
probably prevented more thefts from occurring.
breaking in the cars in the driveway?
Same thing, breaking into cars. And we are
We
working
haven't
on
had that for a while.
yeah, and we are working on a lead with that as well as with credit card use. So it looks pretty promising. So that will be something. We'll see if that works out.
Yeah?
The chief talked about the storm coverage. It was really pretty good. The fire department and the highway guys cleared the roads pretty good as far as a lot of trees down. I think this was a worse storm because people weren't talking it up. It was pretty bad comparing it to the ice storm in 2008, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was Dearborn Road, I think, and Pingree Hill seemed to be out the longest, and it was like 4 days, 4 to 5 days for some
Really?
of those.
Wow.
Yeah, some of those areas. But police coverage was fine. Everybody, did a good job, and they went pretty well.
Yeah.
Chief talked about that drug overdose. The officers administered 10 milligrams of Narcan, when normally we were giving 2. So we're thinking it was probably, obviously fentanyl was involved there. and she's exactly right, this guy didn't live in our community, he's just driving through, probably didn't even know he's in Auburn, New Hampshire.
Correct.
They're just getting off the nearest exit on the highway. We have stepped up patrols, especially in the exit 1, exit 2 areas. We try to stay there a lot, especially in the evening time, to look just for this kind of activity. Because we don't want someone overdosing and it's not trying to drive, you
Yeah.
know, and cause an accident and stuff. But the Narcan paid off, kind of paid off for that one.
Yeah, wow.
Now, did he go to the hospital afterwards?
He did.
He did,
No,
okay,
he doesn't.
didn't refuse treatment.
Yeah, no, he went to the hospital. We are planning, we did some training with the school. The school's doing a new emergency response training stuff. It's called the ALICE program. They've been working on some of that stuff. We have a training scheduled with them in March, so we'll just kind of keep you guys appraised of what's going on. We're gonna just kind of training with all the teachers there, no students there, it'll just be the teachers. But that's coming up, and Chris Bowley, he's gone to school, and he's an instructor in that program. So
Yeah.
he's gonna help instruct the teachers at the school.
Yeah. Now, did I see something going on since our last meeting with the school, or
We
was
did
that the
have,
month before?
they had a second evacuation
You
drill
did,
this
right.
last month.
You
That
had
went
the
fine.
road blocked off.
Yeah, that was fine, everything went well.
Went well?
Yeah, they're gonna try a off-site, not just an evacuation here, but they don't dismiss from here. If they ever had to evacuate the school for any reason, they are gonna dismiss the pupils from a different location, not here. And they're gonna try that drill to move some of the kids by bus. Buses would show up here, take the kids somewhere else. and
I
dismiss
got you.
them there.
So they're not all here
Exactly.
for the duration of the
Or whatever events,
lockdown or whatever you
whatever's
got.
going on. So they might try that in the future, and they're gonna see how that works. So it might be a little more
We
chaotic.
might
than
have to
this,
do that with the churches now in town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we just did one in Rye last week, and that they had it tried with the parents picking them up.
Yeah,
Boy, that's
Right.
where it starts to
That's-
fall apart.
right. So when
Because
it's
all
just-
the parents wanna get the kids, and they all
Right.
wanna get them at the same time.
Right.
You
So-
get all the kids here, but then you'd have buses come here
And they would be dismissed from a
bring them to
different-
other places.
Right, and they
So
would
they're
be
not
dismissed.
all in one roof.
right. And not all the traffic would show
All
up
the,
here.
yeah, right. Yeah,
But
okay.
you're exactly right. When it's emergency service guys involved, or town guys, all fine. That's all good. But once you start throwing in the unknown parent element, that makes it a
We
little more
had trouble
difficult.
with parents that knew of the drill
Yeah.
and went down because they wanted to like see their kid or make sure we didn't lose them or
Yeah.
something. And we had a big crowd of them
Wow.
and we didn't let them near the school, but they all showed up at the church, traffic was a mess. You
Well, we
think
look
about
forward to that.
sometimes.
Yes, yeah. Well, I know you had that drill just last month, and it looked like it went
Yeah,
well.
It went very
In
well.
fact, you did tell me it went well.
Yeah, it went very well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alrighty.
The last thing is we are gonna involve the neighborhood watch in a project, we think next year, if there's, Melissa's working on a expanded Nixle program, if it passes, it's up before the budget committee. If that passes, we're gonna greatly expand the Nixle program, to involve the fire department, the town, and the school, they can all use it together. But we need a sample database of people, and we think we're planning on using the neighborhood watch as that sample database.
I
To
got
see
you.
if everything works and work on the bugs and stuff, so there is some kind of plan to involve them a lot more next year into planning of emergency services, which we're hoping, because we get good feedback from them, so we know if the stuff's working, if it's going through. So that's probably gonna be happening as long as that passes.
That's a heck of a good database if you can
Yeah.
get a
Exactly
system to use it.
And then, so we can look forward to that if it works.
That's in this budget, right? Right here?
Not for us, it's under the fire department. It's
Oh,
emergency,
fire,
it's emergency management is the one that's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
be
So it's
funding.
not in our budget, but it
Right.
is budget.
It's in their budget.
Okay.
So we'll see how that
Yeah,
works.
sure.
And I think that's it for this month.
MRI update?
I didn't work on any of the stuff, we're down to, I think, 1, and the 5 from the town. Chip did one more requirement, which was a bunch of procedures. What we are gonna plan to do is print all the procedures now, I think they're all done. I think every SOP that we needed to update is done, and we'll give you guys each a copy of them, you can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
And they're finalized, and the other, I'm pretty sure the last 5 things I had to do all go to the town. So I'll talk to, forwarding them to Bill Herman, and they can deal with whatever they want. And
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much done.
How'd we do on the hits for the last meeting on the,
30, 27, we're at 27 to 30, something like that, so not as many.
we went in, we tanked that month.
Well, there's 1 month, we'll get another month and
Yeah.
see. Some of them are, they still get people to watch them. I don't know if they're watching 4 months later, but,
Yeah,
you know.
all right.
It'll
Any
probably get
questions?
up to 50 or so.
Anything else, Ray?
Right, thanks.
Nope.
Any questions for him?
No.
Okay. All right, so that brings us to the budget. So, put this over here. And, let's start the budget. You're gonna do this, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
unless we have questions that's specific to Lil or anybody else, but I'll try to go through it.
Yeah,
And there were some notes on the side there, I think Lil was really pretty good about showing anything that we might still have pending for bills for this year.
Yeah.
Because some of the items might show there's still money left in there, but we're planning on using some of that funding.
okay.
Overall, the budget is not up, I think it was up, what was the total, $3,000, is that? Or what was the total, it was up? $1,800.
1,800, yeah.
Yeah, and the main, well, just to hit real quick, the main cost of that was the cruises have increased like $1,300 or $1,400 a piece.
Oh,
because
there's
the
$3
state-
grand right there.
Yeah, because the state bid has gone up, not
Yeah.
for any other reason, that's just how it is, so the state,
Okay.
the price they give all police cruisers in the state. is-
Well, we had time to look at the budget, and I have to tell you, it's pretty close, and,
We're
your
trying.
lines are not that far out. I mean, what you've spent so far year to date, but
Right.
hey, let's start with the first one, DWI and sobriety check.
Yeah, so DWI sobriety checkpoint has $2,851 still in it, but, and it was proposed at $5,000, we want to keep it level funded. It'll start again in November for the holidays.
Holidays, yeah.
So we will spend, maybe not all that money, but a good portion of it for the holiday patrols. And we're asking for that to stay to be level funded
All right.
again next year.
All right, so,
Move to accept.
yeah, second. Okay, all set with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, selective traffic control.
We did actually quite a few selective enforcement patrols this year. We want to, again, keep that level funded. That was mostly, the newer one is for the hands-free patrol.
Oh,
Those are new,
yeah.
and we didn't do those ever before, but we were asking again for level funding there.
Move to accept.
Second. Okay, witness fees.
Witness fees, again, we would ask for level funded. That was pretty much used up, and it'll be pretty close by the end of the
Yeah.
year.
Move to accept.
Second.
Uh,
$1.
Yeah,
Move
we'd
to
ask.
accept.
Move to accept that,
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer.
Uh,
Uniforms, I know you
uniform.
got a big balance, and that's because everybody waits like to the end of the,
Right, everybody waits to the end of the year, plus it's contractual, so we can't really change it whether we wanted to or not. We did
Yep.
have an employee, we reduced the roster, so that's why we reduced it by the one person from the roster. So we want to reduce that by $350.
Move to accept.
second. Computer,
Computer services, so this is, this crime mapping thing is, we want to,
No, that's,
for this year, or
that's different, that's through IMC. The crime mapping is, our crime mapping we aren't able to do anymore because we're connected to ROC. So ROC won't allow us to pull their data.
yep,
But if we go with IMC crime mapping, which is IMC's internal one instead of the
Right.
one we use,
uh-huh,
it'll be $600 annually to
Yep.
be able to carry the crime mapping, which will automatically populate it. Right now, because we haven't been doing it so they do it, Melissa's been pre-populating our old system
yep.
to keep them in the loop.
So the crime mapping for 600, the new router for 985 is built into the budget figure that you want.
We want it to be level funded from last year.
Yeah,
Move to
2320.
accept.
Second.
Uh,
Custodial,
Custodial services,
Yeah, there's no change in.
there's no change in, from last year, and then our balance will be used up by the end of the year.
Move to accept.
second. Medical services,
Medical services, again, we would ask that to be level funded for the same equipment from last year.
you used all of it already.
We have.
Move to accept.
Second.
Prosecution, again, it's a contractual thing, I think, with Lonnie, we'd ask that to stay level funded.
Is he,
And he's okay?
Yep.
Because that was a big item last year.
He
yeah,
was
he went
fine.
up last year, but
Nope.
Perfect.
he's, okay,
Yep, move to accept.
second.
He's worth every penny.
Yeah.
He is,
Oh, yeah.
he is.
And he seems this year to, you know how his billing went last year where we kind of owed him a little bit of extra money at the end of the year?
Yeah,
It kind of evened out, but the weird thing happens with his court dates, they've cut our court dates. So what happens is, instead of spreading things out, he's about to get another little jam up. So hopefully he won't pull it into it won't get pulled into the new year.
right,
But
Yeah.
we had a nice little lull
Yeah.
in his, but again, now he's got a couple court dates, they're gonna be super busy.
On time.
fantastic. Okay, next one is radar.
Radar is the same thing, we'd have to keep that level funded as well, and that's just for the recertifications of,
Yeah. When you say radar trailer upkeep, $100,
Probably gonna be more than that this year, because we're gonna try to, I think, to do some repairs to the existing one that we have.
Yeah, now if you have a battery problem or a charging problem, we can go to Jerry Demersion.
Yeah.
He's a specialist in that.
Right.
And we
that's
can let him look at it.
That's what we're hoping to get some.
Okay, I'll talk to him about it, and I'm
Because
sure he can help us out.
Glenn Shaw knew someone too that knew.
Some more of the electrical stuff, so he
Electrical,
might
solar,
look at it too.
you
Oh.
know, charging and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we were gonna consider that since we weren't even.
Yeah.
Just
So is 11:45 gonna do it?
Yeah, it should be fine. We'll do it voluntarily. The thing's not
All right.
sinking a lot of money. So.
Well, we still have 482 left. I mean, we haven't, is there anything planned?
Yeah, we have to recertify, I think. Is that coming up
January.
in January? So no, probably not.
That's next year's. Can we just drop that $145, make it even thousand?
Sure, but don't you be cranking when you can't get that radar check on the
Yeah.
road.
Myself, I'd like to keep it, Dennis, at 11:45, but
All right, move to accept.
second, 11:45, okay, thank you, Dennis. Radio maintenance,
Radio maintenance, we are asking,
I still have one, portable that has.
it's coming, right?
Yeah.
It's,
So I have received
I think
bills.
it's 1,700 or
so that's gonna eat
$1,800.
up some of that 43, that's gonna eat up some of that 9, it's gonna eat it all.
It's actually gonna do more. For
Yeah.
some reason, last year we got a better bargain, this year they went up, and I think it's 2,100, I think was the bill,
Yeah,
so that I'm waiting.
and you wanna buy another repeater, that's important, because I tell you, the reception, that helps you with your reception in the,
Yeah, so-
in the areas of the
So we're
town
gonna
that's
spend
bad.
that whole remaining amount and more.
And a little bit more.
All right, move to accept.
With the reduction of $100.
Yeah.
All right, I'll second that, sure. Now, training, you've already told us that the state is charging now.
Police standards and training, not offering in-service training.
Yeah.
There's a few, but nothing,
Yeah.
they're few and far between. So we
Yeah.
actually did a count, we went to 13, the officers went to 13 in-service schools this year, and we had paid for 3 instructors to come here to teach classes. So we're asking for an increase of $800, which we looked at the cost of what we spent. We'll still be under what we actually spent this year, but we think that's what we can get away with. It's weird, each class is either $399 or $499. It's like a set price that they charge you for every class. I'm not sure where they got that, where people got that from. But
All
that's,
the officers still have an 8-hour minimum requirement
Yeah.
for police
Yeah.
standards and training.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, they charge that fee for every person attending, or as for the group?
No, for each, if we pay an instructor, it's usually cheaper. We've been doing that more than we have been in the past.
You haven't come here,
Right.
yeah.
Move to accept.
Is that, now that's, we're talking training, move to.
Yeah, any motion is for what they're proposing.
Right.
Yeah, move to, okay, second,
Photography, we would ask to keep that level.
Move to accept.
second,
Public relations, same thing, we would keep it level. I think we'll talk a little bit later on about an officer, but if we look to hire another officer, we might actually do more.
and we're still donating, money to, Rockingham, one of those,
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been using the CAC thing
Yeah.
a lot.
okay,
So we get way more than the money we're given.
yeah,
Move to accept.
okay, second that. Okay, plant costs, not much we can do with that one either.
No, plant costs is, we would ask to be, gonna be level funded. I don't think anybody told us they were going up and anything.
Move to accept.
Second, police equipment,
Police equipment, we still have $1,200 outstanding this year for firearms replacement for the pistols that we replaced. A
Yeah.
part of it is coming out of this line, so that line will be spent, and we're asking, I think, just a use of $50.
yep,
Not sure where she came up with $50, but
I was rounding things.
Just wanted to give me something
there's
back.
50,
Yeah.
there's 50 of the
Yeah.
145
yeah, I'm not sure.
on the other line that you were worried about,
Yeah.
Move to
okay?
accept.
Okay, second
Yeah,
year.
Must have rounded it off.
Awful reputation around here.
Yeah.
Office equipment,
Office equipment, we would ask to keep that level funded. I think
Yeah.
a copy of agreement's the big cost, but it's all the stuff they buy for their office.
You still have 400 in there, Lil?
Yeah, I do.
She's
You're not
spending
gonna-
it.
Not gonna help me, are you? Move to accept?
Yeah.
second, postage,
Postage, we'd ask to keep that level funded, I think there's $100 in there, but. we'll-
can we get a discount, Mr. Gagne?
Oh, that's probably gonna go first year.
Uh,
I'm By then forever stands.
You all set with that one?
Yeah, move to accept.
Second?
The proposal to go to 50 cents per scan.
Yeah?
They haven't approved it yet, the proposal.
Alright.
Some other things are going up too, but that's the big one.
Alrighty.
Subscriptions and dues, we would ask to keep that level funded as well.
Yeah, move to accept.
It's around.
Second?
Firearms, we're gonna ask to keep that level funded as well.
And you're rotating 2 tasers a year, right? Or-
We have still, I think, all the full-time officers have a taser that's new, but they recommend not using the older tasers, and there's still some of the ones that we have set aside for part-time officers are the older ones. We need to,
Yeah. Can we do anything with the old ones, or are they just junk? Do you trade them in?
they don't take them.
Oh, so they're junk,
They're junk,
and you can't use them for parts either?
use them training, stuff
Good.
like that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Move to accept.
second. Police supplies.
Police supplies, I think, is where the other 2,000 for the firearms are coming out of,
Mhm.
for the pistols, so that will be spent as well. We're asking to keep that level funded.
Now,
So
you got,
that, what you're saying is that 2,000 that we see balance remaining is going
It's spent already, yeah.
spent.
yeah, see, so that's what Lil was saying. We could get a different update on some of these year-to-date expenses, or Kate can give you everything. Or these are pending charges that you know are
We
coming.
haven't gotten the bills yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I just, some I
Yeah,
don't have to.
That's
go.
fine.
yeah.
As long-
So you do move to accept?
Yep.
Okay, and I'll second that. K-9 supplies,
K-9
$8.
Yeah, K-9 supplies, we're looking to keep it level funded at 3,000. I know he has some outstanding stuff still coming in, and there was no major medical issues this year, so.
You
we
didn't
would
get
ask to
hurt
keep
or
that.
anything like that?
No,
And how's he working out?
very good.
Good.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
The drug search thing, the dog's right on, and the search thing's awesome. The dog's-
Terrific.
It's a good dog.
You never know when you need it, but it'd be good to have.
Yeah.
I tell you, I wouldn't want him chasing me at night. It would look awful.
All right, move to accept.
Second?
And commissioners, we keep that,
Oh,
we'd like to keep that
$100,
$100.
yeah,
Move to accept.
second.
What?
Let's cut it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, $100, why don't we give the whole thing to you, okay?
Office supplies, I think we're asking that to be level funded, is that right?
We still have 800 outstanding on that, though.
Yeah, I think she's
You got bills
Waiting.
coming in.
She's not gonna not spend it for her supplies, so she waits for in case something else happens.
Paper, toner, all that kind of stuff.
Move to
By the time I see the
accept.
next
Yeah,
one.
right.
Yeah,
Move to accept?
yeah.
Okay, second. Advertising.
Advertising, we're looking to keep it, level funded as well.
Move to accept.
Second. Contingencies, 200.
We're asking to keep that level funded.
Move to accept.
Second. Cruises, okay, so this is where we had an increase in the wholesale price they give to
The
the
cruiser.
government vehicles.
Right, the state bid price has gone up. We did look at, the total cruiser usage, so this year last year, we put 132,000 miles on all our cruisers during the course of the year. This year, we've done 130,000, so it's pretty close. That's what we're gonna be kinda at. That's,
Yeah,
you know,
130,000 a year.
That's pretty much what we're looking at. We're gonna have 2 vehicles that, by the time the cars are purchased and replaced, both of the vehicles will have over 80 to 85,000
Well,
miles.
that's more than we've had in the past, that's a higher mileage, and I remember some of the
Yeah, so we're
other
looking-
cruises in the past.
We're looking to replace both of those cruisers, so
Yeah.
we're still looking for two.
Mhm.
And if we continue that patrol coverage we have, that's probably gonna be a permanent thing, if we just put that,
Well,
it's just how it is, we
We've
put
been
that many
doing
miles
we've
on.
been leasing 2 cruises in I think this is my 7th year, so 6 years.
Well, we did a one.
We did
One
it
time we
once,
did it
years
once.
Bounce
ago.
to one and
Yeah.
then back to
That's
two.
because we
and-
lost some money from the state on the retirement stuff, and we, I think we were like 12 or 18,000 in the whole retirement. So the state changed it a few years back, and we gave up one of the cruises for that.
Move to accept.
Second. Motorcycle,
We're looking to reduce that $500, cause I think we're trying to lease the same motorcycle rather than get a brand new one,
Mhm.
and it goes down a little bit, I guess,
Sure.
if you do that.
you know, probably didn't get a lot of use this last year, because a lot of your motorcycle people were out on sick leave.
Or injured.
So the thing's like brand new, so why not? I think we could go
That's what
another
I'm-
year with the old lease.
Move to accept.
Second.
Cruiser maintenance, I don't think we've purchased our winter tires yet,
Not all of them.
not all of them, so we're looking to keep that level funded.
Mhm.
Move to accept.
Second. And cruiser fuel,
The fuel, we looked at as well, we're asking to keep it level funded. We looked at our actual use, that Wex thing's pretty good, once Lil figured it out, which was good.
yeah,
To tell you how many gallons, we use about 8,000 to 8,500 gallons of fuel per year. We do get charged a lower rate, because we don't have to pay the taxes anymore.
yeah,
But we estimated, and that was at $2.50 or $2.20 a gallon on average is what we paid this year. If prices go up, the current budget we have, even though there's money left in there this year, if prices go back up to like, over $4, around $4 a gallon, we would not be able to purchase the gallons we use this year. So we're
Yeah.
looking to keep it level funded, and if something happens and the gas prices go up, we'll just have to watch our mileage or try to put mileage restrictions on.
I think you're spot on, because crude oil right now is $57 a barrel.
Right.
Back in the summertime, it was in the low 40s.
Right.
And believe it or not, that price of gas affects my business, because when people are paying
They won't
$3 a gallon,
Oh, you're right.
they got less money to go out to DQ, and instead of going twice a week, they go once a week, and they cut down on all these little frills when the gas gets more expensive. And like I say, I keep an eye on the crude, it's $57 already, so,
We're looking to keep that level funded.
okay, Dennis?
Well, I think that's an area that we can cut, but where it's just you and I don't wanna, if you're gonna say leave it, I'll leave it. But
Okay,
I think we're carrying a lot more there than we need to be. I don't think we're gonna see the $4 a gallon, at least this year. I think we're gonna see it go up, but I don't think.
Several years ago, that line was 30,000.
Yeah, no, I know, I mean, it's.
years ago, it was 38,
Done well.
and we reduced it quite a bit. My first year as police commissioner, I remember, in fact, I was on the budget committee, that's right, and it was way up there. And we whittled it down a little bit to 30, and now we're down to 25, so, I don't know, I think 25 is, I mean, if we don't use it, we're gonna give it back.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Well, that's
Typically
yeah,
spend it on
bottom
something.
line, bottom line
I
budget.
just, I mean, we're pretty level. I think we should lower it, but like I said, if I vote no and you vote yes, I don't think we accomplish anything, so.
Probably not, but don't forget, we gotta go through the selectmen and the budget committee. as
Yeah,
well.
I think you'll hear from them.
That's
but-
fine.
No?
But let's go in with it there and
All right, so,
so.
So
you all set?
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you guys about another budget-related item.
Yeah.
We want to go for another full-time officer next year.
Yeah,
The part-time line, I've talked with Bill Herman, we looked at the budget and everything.
Yeah.
The part-time line is going to go down by over $30,000, which was perfect as far as it worked when we hired Anita. It kind of worked
because
just
you're only
like
doing it
that.
half a year next year.
Exactly right. It kind of worked just how we planned, that the work hours were reduced and transferred from basically a part-time officer to a full-time officer's position. And we want to try to do the same thing. This would put us at 10 full-time officers, and that would accomplish what was recommended by MRI, and we would be done. We would have 10.
Plus your part-time roster is
Pretty slim
still could
pickings.
lose 2 people on medical leave
So pretty slim pickings. I would expect us to lose at least 2, if not more than that.
within the next year.
But, I mean, that was the intent, is that as the full-timers go up, our part-timers go down,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right.
But-
But they're nice to have.
And they're good to
in
have
an
for
emergency
vacations or.
And do we still have the support of Bill Herman and Selectmen,
Yes.
you think are still on
We'll
board?
find out with the selectmen, but
Yeah.
Bill said that he would recommend to
Well,
them
that's-
that they would go
yeah,
with it.
if he does,
And,
then, yeah.
we would make our pitch to them when we go on next Monday.
So a half a year, you're talking a half
With
a year.
6 months for a new officer, so they
Yeah.
would start in July of 2018.
So you have 6 months, and usually it's about 80 grand, so 40, you got 30 left over in a part-time line, so you're very
We'll
close.
see what happens.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping the next year would be reduced by the officer being used, more than the part-time officers, and it would make up
Yeah.
some more of that difference. So that's what we're anticipating.
And you had some full-time people that were out on sick leave, which meant that in 2017, you had to use more of your part-timers. So if we don't have that next year, perhaps, you
Long
might
range,
not
we're
use
not,
as much.
Let's
yeah.
stick with the plan, that's what we
Okay.
said we were gonna do.
Okay, I just wanna make sure I had you
Yeah,
guys,
add
you know,
one
support,
each year.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't talk the payroll
No,
out of
but-
this
No,
budget.
and that's why I was saying if that's what Bill and the
Yeah.
selectmen see
Yeah.
more is that side of it, so if they're on board with it,
Okay.
I'm
All
fine.
right, now, that's Monday night, right? We have to present, are you coming Monday night, or
Is it next Monday?
is this Monday coming? And then Thursday next week is the budget committee.
Yeah, I
So-
can't do this next Monday, I've got a meeting. I've
Okay.
gotta do
Well,
something else.
I'll go and,
Yeah,
and
I
I can
don't-
present it
Okay.
to the selectmen.
I don't-
And then Thursday, we're with the budget committee. You gonna be able to make
I
that?
should be able to make that, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any question? I think we're done here. We're pretty well done everything unless somebody's got, yes. Tom.
This may be semantics, but you haven't voted on anything with the budget. You had a motion in a second on a couple dozen items, and you didn't do any official voting, so your budget's not official yet.
Well, we can go through every line and make it official.
If you want to lay
Saying
out one
total.
major, one main,
Oh.
Do we have a bottom line on that? Do you know what the
Okay.
bottom line is, and we'll vote the
So
bottom
good question.
line?
Yeah, we can do that. You wanna go line by line and make it
No.
official?
It looks like it got cut off, I'm sorry, it's on there, Ray, give that first
just
one, I
make
gave
one
you
motion to
now.
accept the budget. as-
We'll make one motion for the
Accept
total.
the budget as written or as proposed.
We didn't make any
Didn't change
changes,
anything.
right?
No, we didn't change one thing,
I'll motion we accept the budget as presented.
and I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Tom.
Good question.
All
Good
right.
job, Lil, thank you.
Okay,
Ray.
any questions, anybody else? As we're gonna entertain a motion to adjourn, and we'll adjourn at 7:38 PM.
Good.
So moved, okay?
Why don't you call Glenn and, rush it in.